Batista's facing new challenges that he's never faced before.
The season is gonna be so good.
And many surprises that come along.
Oh, do
Yeah,
tell.
I won't tell, but you'll see.
Surprise! Oh, you know the rest. We are back from the dead. Welcome to another season of Dexter Final Cut, your go-to destination for everything Dexter and the official after show for Dexter Resurrection. I'm your host, Jamie Chung, and I'm back, baby! I will be here to guide you through all the bloody details of this week's episode. So, I have been rewatching New Blood, and I really wish that Angel had gotten that call just a little bit sooner, and maybe then Molly Park would still be alive. But alas, timing was not on our side. Luckily, we do have David Zayas with us tonight. Ow! He is the fan favorite, Forever Miami Metro, with hips that do not lie, and someone we've always happy to see back in the Dexter universe. David, welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. It's wonderful to be here.
So what do you think of our New York set?
It's nice.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. I got everything hooked up. Dexter style.
I mean,
like it.
She's dark, she's mysterious, she's bloody.
Dexter, please let this be another hallucination.
We were so excited to have you back on Resurrection.
Thank you.
What was it like to put on that hat and the costume and then step back into the role of Angel Batista?
It was a little like riding a bike, only with new information that the character has. But there was a moment when I first put on the hat, when I was about to shoot, that I'm like, we're back.
Still got it.
Hello, Dexter Morgan.
Am I dead?
Not yet.
Okay, so this week we have 2 episodes to unpack here, and there's a lot going on. Episode 1 is called A Beating Heart. And right off the bat, we realize that we are not holding back this season. The very first scene, Dexter is in a hospital bed and visited by the ghost of the Trinity Killer, Miguel Prado, Harry, and surprise, motherfucker, it's Dokes.
Surprise, motherfucker.
What was it like for you to see all these guys come back and reprise their roles?
You know, I have such great memories of all those characters. Eric King was one of my really good friends while we were shooting, and he was just so great in that role. Jimmy Smith's Miguel Prado was such an interesting character in season 3. And I've known Jimmy, I've worked with him on Broadway, and he's just a great professional and wonderful mentor as to how I want to conduct myself as an actor and as a professional. John Lithgow, I mean, what can you say about him? I mean, he's just amazing. He could read you a book and it's fascinating.
If you hadn't thought that you could live the dream, your wife would still be alive.
Just to see them come back and just explore those moments in Dexter's subconscious is just really, it was a great start to that episode.
Is this your first time in New York?
Yeah, I thought I was gonna hate it coming from Iowa and all, but I really love it.
So this episode 1 leads us to New York City, one of the best cities in the world. Am I right?
Absolutely, it's my city.
We see Harrison, he is working at a hotel. He is homeless, staying in other people's rooms, waking up before the guests come, and who can blame him, right? It's New York City prices. You gotta do what you gotta do.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
So one of the guests, Ryan, you see him, you kinda like him, he's kinda smug, and then you realize he's a creeper.
He's a predator.
You dumbass. There's plenty more where she came from. There's always more.
You got Dexter, you got Harrison, and even though Dexter's his father, it doesn't necessarily mean that he kills the same way. Maybe it is impulsive. There's been, kills on Dexter where it has been impulsive, and they have fit the code. Harrison didn't have the time to do his research on it.
No, but he just kind of like instinctually, he just knew.
Number 1, he was defending himself. And number 2, he saw that right there. It was happening in front of his eyes. Sometimes you gotta make the decision quickly.
In New Blood, we see that Dexter trains Harrison really well, right? Even up to the bag ties. I feel like these are the things that before kept him safe is now perhaps gonna get him caught with this new detective that's on his ass.
If it was easy, it'd be boring, wouldn't it? She brings a challenge to Dexter and to Harrison, and she's onto something that, you know, others will not be onto real quick. So I enjoy the fact that the new characters are very intelligent.
Yeah.
And like Harry says, these New York cops are not to be played with.
Yeah, do not mess with them.
I've known Katia for a while, and she brings just the right wonderful traits to that kind of character.
Yeah. If she's bringing her own flavor, like she made some really interesting character choices.
Right.
And is that written in the script?
Do you know where this trash came from?
Yes?
Why are you saying it like you're asking it?
Because he's not sure.
Then just say no.
Some of it is written in the script, but I think some of it is
just her.
Her interpretation and her exploration of that character, and you know, she knows she
good.
does her thing.
They're all really good.
Yeah, they're all really good.
Can we talk about Teddy? He is a hilarious comedian, but Teddy gets us all caught up on the New Blood aftermath.
Angela was so sorry about mistakenly arresting you for the murder of Matt Caldwell. Obviously, it turned out his dad. Well, you know. She was even more sorry about shooting you. When she found that bullet hole in your cell, which proved that Logan had shot at you and you were just defending yourself, she felt like shit.
I totally forgot that Logan shot the bullet. Did he?
Yeah.
He did! Okay, sorry.
I think sometimes in life, you know certain facts, and then you start thinking, what are the consequences if I bring this up, if I bring this to light?
Yeah.
And what are the consequences if I don't? Sometimes you can choose either one.
I mean, but she really did take the heat for it. I mean, she stepped down. She sends a letter via Teddy, like, okay, now we're even.
You know, the one thing about small towns, Iron Lake, I feel like it was a small town, and that everybody knew everybody's business, and it was a nice town. Sometimes you don't want to disrupt that.
Yeah.
And then she said the craziest thing. She intimated that you were the Bay Harbor butcher. The new discovery he really has is that he's alive. When he thought he was dead all this time. As for everything else, if you know Angel Batista from the beginning, he doesn't cut corners. He goes by the law, he does things by the rules, so it's now his job to like see what happened, how did he miss it, and what he's gonna do about it.
I kind of love that the last kind of fuck you that you dropped was like, oh, and by the way, Dexter Morgan, you're alive again.
Yeah.
You know, I reversed all of the death certificates and whatnot, which is gonna give him a whole lot of hell.
You're officially alive. After your shipwreck, I was the one that filled out your death certificate. When I heard you were alive, thought it fitting that Dexter Morgan be legally resurrected. Well, there's definitely a little cat and mouse thing happening there, where it's like, you know, you're not really telling me anything, but you're saying everything, you know, and it's just one of those moments that as an actor, you just love it because it's such a just like a chess game.
I love it.
You know, and so that opportunity was there because of the information that he learned.
Yeah.
And because of what happened to Dexter.
I heard something horrible on the news. A man's chopped up body was found. Ugh, gives me the heebies.
Where was this?
Down in New York City. They found the body parts cut up into 9 pieces. Can you imagine?
9 pieces.
So Dexter learns of Harrison's whereabouts and decides to sneak out of the hospital. And he just slips right out of your hands. It was this close, but I do love the Quinn call out.
Yeah, hi, this is Detective Quinn, Miami Metro. I need to talk to Captain Batista.
Hold, please. Excuse me, Captain Batista. Phone call for you.
He actually sounded a little like him.
I know.
I don't know how many visits it would have taken Batista to actually grab him and say, you're coming with me.
Yeah.
But I think that scene was so well constructed in that Angel Batista is he's in new territory here.
Yeah.
You know, he's always been just trying to do everything by the book. And there's a real lack of cynicism in his character, which slowly now, with the truth that's coming out, is kind of getting torn away. That's hard to let go of, you know? So it's like, I want to make sure that, you know, and he does have affection for Dexter.
Yeah, of course.
You know, it's like, they were friends for a long time, and he thought he had died 10 years ago. So I think that dynamic and the way they structured that way, he did get away. Was just brilliant.
Now the chase is on.
Now the chase is on.
It's on.
Fucking psycho.
Uma Thurman. She is perfect for this role.
Yes.
What can fans expect from her character?
Continued perfection. Her character really has a direct impact on the storyline. The thing is, this character, as you see during the season, will get more and more complicated, and it's an interesting
Yeah,
journey.
because I feel like she's playing a henchman, right, for her boss, but I think she is the boss. I'm throwing shit out there to see what sticks because I really want to know what's happening, you know what I mean? Before we move on to the next episode, I want to play a game with you, and this one is a new one that we're calling A Slice of Life
Okay.
or Slice of Fiction Pie. David, this one's tailor-made for you. Okay. As a former New York City police officer turned TV detective, here's how it works. I'm gonna read you unbelievable events, and you have to tell me whether or not it's a real New York City news story or something that we totally made up. Let's see. Are you ready?
See, I'm ready.
Okay. This year, a 6-foot snake was caught slithering through a packed subway car. Slice of life or a slice of fiction pie?
Oh, that's a slice of life.
Did that really happen?
It's happened several times.
What? How big is this? 6 feet. That's insane.
People have unusual pets that sometimes get away.
Well, guess what? You are right. It is a slice of life. Viral videos and TikToks captured the giant snake weaving between seats in January 2025. A secret society of pigeon whisperers convenes at 3 a.m. in Central Park to share bird gossip.
But there's definitely, pigeon
Yes.
whisperers around. Whether they share gossip or not, you know what? I'm gonna say slice of fiction on that one.
My God, you're on fire today. Yes, you are correct. It's a slice of fiction pie.
Okay. I've heard stranger stories that are true.
So on April 1st, 2014, hundreds of people gathered in Washington Square Park for an unsanctioned cheese fight club, pelting each other with blocks of cheddar.
If that happened,
You would be there.
I would have heard about it. I still say slice of fiction.
Gosh, you're on. Yes, that is correct. That is a slice of fiction pie.
So you're giving people ideas.
The last ever execution of a pirate took place on Liberty Island.
Possible. But I could be wrong here. I'm gonna say slice of life.
God damn it! I really thought we got him there. No, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Liberty Island was originally called Bedloe's Island. And this was Albert W. Hicks, a notorious waterfront pirate and murderer. He was executed on July 13th, 1860, and it was the final public hanging for piracy in New York City.
Wow, it's the last public hanging.
Yes. Okay, let's dive into episode 2.
Are you going to kill you? Well, who knows? Let's just say it all depends.
So this episode is called Camera Shy. We start the episode off with the introduction of the dark passenger who kills your car drivers, the other dark passenger.
He's killed 7 people so far. They call him the Dark Passenger.
The what?
The Dark Passenger.
It never occurred to me to trademark my alter ego.
The infrared light hoodie is genius, and do you know if that's a real thing?
I don't. I mean, it was interesting, and when I read it, I was like, it might be.
Now we're giving criminals ideas to get away,
yeah,
right?
but I've never heard of that, to be honest with you. But the technology has passed me a long time ago.
Same.
So you never know.
What are you waiting for? Go talk to him. Make sure he's okay. I can see he's okay. Dex, he's been going through a lot. I'm sure the last thing he wants is another of his dead bodies showing up.
So why do you think Dexter doesn't want to confront Harrison right away?
Dexter, for me, is more interested in making sure that he's safe, making sure that he's doing what he needs to do. I think that he's taking his time. Dexter's always been a person that thinks things through, that does his research.
Yeah.
Make sure that the time is right, which is probably one of the reasons why he hasn't been caught in so many decades. Almost, but not
many
quite.
times.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Explain it to us.
To confront him right away would have created, I would say, an explosion that neither one of them needed at that time.
At that time, yeah. And I think he did say in the episode too, which makes a lot of sense, like, I don't want to traumatize my child,
Harrison needs that same guidance from his father.
He doesn't just think I'm dead, he thinks he killed me. Having me show up out of the blue could seriously fuck up his head.
A little too late for that, but,
Oh,
but you know.
burn.
But,
Yes,
but
you're correct.
yeah, but I know what you mean. Yeah.
What can you tell me to help me find him? What was he like here?
Everyone liked Jim. A nice man. I don't know too many personal details about him. He liked tuna.
Tell me about filming your scene with Teddy. Did it feel good to be back in investigation mode?
It did, but it also felt interesting to sit across a character that even surprises Batista a little bit with his eccentricity and everything that his just some things that he says. Even if you're going back to Miami, let's have pancakes.
Guess I'll fly home tomorrow.
Be happy to give you a ride to the airport. You can stop here first for pancakes.
It's just odd, yet sweet, yet genuine. And it's like, you know, there are people out there like that, and it was great to like play off of that energy.
Does your character respect him?
I think that my character respects any law enforcement officer until he's proven that he's not to be trusted.
Good answer. I can't get this guy off his toes. Okay.
Hello. I'm sorry. It didn't have to be this way.
Harrison's having some really terrifying visions. How do you think the act of murder affects Harrison and Dexter differently?
I don't know if it's different. I think it's just newer. So yeah, those visions are gonna come. And Dexter's been doing it for many years. But if you look back at Dexter, his first couple of kills wasn't smooth sailing.
No,
either.
it wasn't smooth sailing.
So it's I think that regardless of you are taking someone's life and you're doing it in a way that there's got to be some kind of reality that this is not normal.
No,
and,
it's not
and I
normal.
think that he's still human though. So it's going to affect your mind in a certain way. I think it makes him that much more human.
Well, if you find yourself free tomorrow, stop by. My name's Blessing Kamara, and you are?
Dexter Morgan.
So Dexter meets Blessing, who's an interesting and loving actor, great character. Don't you love how Dexter is going to be a rideshare driver just to kill the dark passenger?
Well, I think Dexter also recognizes really good people, really genuine people. He does recognize them. He's very good in just connecting with people that just are genuine and like, Antari's character was. And so Blessing is that character that just welcomes him into his world. And I feel like Dexter felt safe in that world with him, for the most part.
Yeah, it's so meta. He becomes your driver to kill his dark passenger, but not his dark passenger, but the other dark passenger. I mean, it's meta. It's like life, it's crazy.
But also, if you think about it, for what he wants to do, for what he's doing, it's a great job to just move around a lot,
and really get to know some people.
Really get to know some people and be at places where, that's his job, So I thought that was brilliant.
Genius.
To make him a U-Car driver,
What happens if I go to the police? The FBI, tell them what your boss does.
And that you're a serial killer? Good luck with that.
Fuck. Let me talk to him. Give me 5 minutes of his time.
I'm very intrigued to see where this story is going. When you first read the script, what did you think was actually happening? She's just killing off
I don't know
annoying
what this
people?
says about me, but when I first read it, I was like, wow, she gave him so many chances to go away.
Yeah.
And he
Like,
didn't.
fuck off.
And finally she
Yeah.
said, you know what, I'm not gonna deal with this. Bah, that's it, That's the way I look. When I read it, I'm like, she's giving this guy a lot of chances.
Yeah.
Though, he probably would have been.
He's desperate.
Anyway.
Anyways, but in broad daylight.
Hey.
That's kind of crazy.
Nothing fancy. It has everything you need. Free utilities and Wi-Fi and plenty of food and company just upstairs.
It might work.
I love Blessing's family life, and I'm glad he moved in with them. I feel like moments like this is what makes Dexter Dexter, no? The story centers around family, whether at work or at home, but now he's kind of sliding right into this new family.
Yeah, in the past, Dexter's always said, I'm hiding my feelings because I don't have any feelings. As a fan of the show, I don't believe that. I think he does have feelings. And I think he gravitates to genuine people that are going to show him some love and affection in any way. I think it's actually wonderful that I think, you know, he identifies people that are going to be good for him at the moment.
You Tommy?
Yes, I am. Hey, don't take my ear car. Sorry.
We do see that Dexter is back on the hunt for Schmidt. And it's really interesting that Harry says something at the end of the episode. Like it's crazy that you're now saving people instead of just using the code to hunt down the ones that deserve to die.
He was going to kill that driver.
So you stepped in to save him.
Yes.
You know that's different, right? From what you've done in the past.
It is kind of risky, don't you think?
It is risky. I always felt like Dexter saved a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know, even from the beginning. You know, that was the whole
That's the whole
part
point.
of the code
You're right.
of what's going on. So Dexter's a bit older now. He's got more life experience. So everything that he feels is going to be escalated by that experience.
Before we sign off, I've got one last game for us to play, and it's a classic.
Let's do it.
You guessed it, it's Blood Slide Roulette. I've got a box over here full of blood slides, and each one has a random question on it. Some are harmless, some are a little bit dark, so please pick a number between 1 and 50.
Can you pick number 26?
Okay, number 26. Describe the perfect New York slice.
Thin crust with just enough burn in the bottom
That
and
crunch?
that crunch when you bite into it.
My mouth is salivating as we speak.
44.
Ooh. If you could have any job for one day, just for fun, what would you do?
A doctor.
Don't you see enough blood in this world?
But it doesn't have to do with blood. It has
That's
to do
true.
with
Healing.
the power to help someone in a situation where it's life and death. Now, I know I could do that as a cop, you could do that, but being a doctor, you're really involved in the, so I think my answer would be a doctor. I would love to be a doctor for a day.
You're a goddamn saint. You know that? I can't believe that you were NYPD for 15 years before you jumped into the arts full time.
It wasn't after the 15 years, it was during the 15 years that I started trying to be an actor.
And then what was the one play that you saw that kind of changed your life?
Oh, I saw a play, wow, back, I won't say the year. 'Cause that'll age me.
1991 or 1992? I'm joking.
Before then.
No way!
It was called, everybody knows it, A Few Good Men.
Yes.
And I saw the play and I was sitting in the front row and just something hit me inside and goes, yeah, that's something
That's
I
what I
want
want
to do.
do. Well, you were with Labyrinth since the beginning,
Yes.
which started in 92. So
In
I
92.
can call you a co-founder, yes?
Well, I'm a founding member.
Founding member.
Right.
And you guys did some incredible freaking plays. There's so many memorable people that came through. You've inspired so many young actors, next generations. It sounds like your son is in the arts. Your
Son,
grandkids are in the arts.
Yeah,
I mean, talk about a trailblazer.
Yeah, back when I was a kid, there was nobody in my family that was in the arts.
I mean, let's be
So
real. Like, there
it's-
wasn't a lot of minorities in the arts.
Right, I came from a very blue collar background, so it was, Dad, I want to be an actor. Because take the city job.
Yeah.
City job's a good job.
So I met you back in 2021.
Yes.
You did Dexter for 8 seasons. In 2022, the show comes out. You did your guest star appearance. In 2023, you were nominated for a Tony Award, working with Katie Sullivan, who was also on New
Yes.
Blood. And now you're back here in New York, playing Angel Batista. Like, this is like full circle times a million.
It's a small world, and it's not by coincidence. It's like, I think the energy that we have, for example, Katie Sullivan was just amazing.
Incredible.
In both Dexter
Yes.
and in the play we did called Cost of Living.
Living.
It was wonderful to work with her. She's wonderful. She's become a good friend,
Yeah.
and I'm very happy for her.
Dex, ¿dónde va? Where you going?
Hey, no blood. No trabajo.
What drew you to the role of Angel Batista?
I got a call. I was shooting something in Toronto at the time, and I got a call from my manager, from my reps, and saying that there's a great part that you should
That you're perfect for? It's
that you
written
should
for
read
you?
And so I flew in that Friday to audition when they saw something in me, and they thought I'd be right for that character, and I was lucky enough to get that part.
An icon is born.
Yeah, 20 years ago.
Jeez,
Yeah.
my goodness. Do you remember a specific moment you realized, whether it being on the show, you're like, I think we're making something pretty special?
Reading the script, reading
Mm-hmm.
the pilot episode of Dexter, I always felt like, wow, this is special.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know how people were gonna react to it. Nobody did.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we weren't quite sure how people were gonna react to that kind of storyline. Yeah, after like the first season, and when we came back for the second season, and you start, get stopped in the street, and you start, because at that time, we didn't have like too much social media.
No.
So it wasn't like we saw everything.
No, people
on-
tune in every Sunday to watch
People tune in
this.
every Sunday,
Yeah.
and then in the streets, you go to a restaurant, and I started noticing people saying, "Oh, I saw,"
Yeah.
and they talking about the show.
Yes.
Yeah. But the bottom line is that the writing on the show
Mm-hmm.
just kept getting better.
Yes.
And the characters started getting more and more interesting, and then we had amazing guest actors coming
Mm-hmm.
in to do a season, and it just became like everything got better as the years went by.
I mean, in Resurrection, we're talking about getting better and better. We have all the best characters coming back. We have you coming back. We have Uma Thurman. I mean, it's kind of mind-blowing. What are you most excited for the fans to see this season?
I'm excited for the fans to see how these characters that they've been so invested in, whether from the original Dexter to Dexter New Blood, their actions and what happens after certain truths come out. That brings out really an interesting side, because it's not just the character, it's not just Angel Batista, not Harrison Morgan going through it. It's the audience that knows, and that's the wonderful thing about the inner monologues that Dexter does, whether it's Original Sin or regular Dexter or Dexter
All
New
of them.
Blood, all of them. That inner monologue really just hooks anybody
really
who's
does.
watching, because they know what he's thinking when no one else in the scene does,
Yeah.
except for Dexter.
Yeah.
And that really brings an interesting, take on it. That's, I feel, why it may have caught on.
Any vague clues of what's to come? Any Easter eggs?
Vague clues.
I mean, the invitation's a pretty big clue.
Right.
Invitation delivered.
I think that
It's like a fight club, but
it's
for
going
serial
to be,
killers?
Well, it's going to be a challenging time for Dexter to accept what's going on in that circle. I think that he's going to meet some interesting people.
I can't wait.
People that share
The same kind of
similar
interests.
passion that he might
Yes.
share, but in a different way and for different reasons.
And then I think I'm really interested to see what those other serial killers think of Dexter and his moral compass.
Since when do you care about other people?
Since now.
What is one thing our fans don't know about Angel Batista?
That's an interesting question. I think the one thing that fans don't know about Angel Batista is the fact that this is new territory that he's dealing with, and it's like he may not deal with it the way people expect him to deal with it. He may not deal with it in a healthy way. Sometimes things get flipped where it becomes you're the one that, Angel Batista is the one that's kind of like being thought of as somebody that's maybe a little bit cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, So it's really just Batista's facing new challenges that he's never faced before. And how is he gonna handle that? And I think, that's where the audience, I feel, is going to be surprised and, intrigued by it.
The season is gonna be so good.
And many surprises that come along.
Oh, do
Yeah, you'll
tell.
see. I won't tell, but you'll see.
Thanks for tuning into Dexter Final Cut, and huge thanks to our fantastic guest, David Zayas!
Thank you.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Dexter YouTube channel. Drop a comment and jump into the Dexter universe. We love hearing all of your theories and questions. Stream new episodes of Dexter Resurrection next Friday, only with the Paramount Plus Premium Plan. And then swing on by to the Dexter YouTube channel the day after for our official breakdown. I'm Jamie Chung, and until then, tread lightly. The original series available on the Essential Plan.